Hi, I'm Tealish and you're watching Coffee and Clix. If you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe, and click on the link tree found in the description of this video for links to my media content. Enjoy, and don't forget, wake up and smell the Clix. Hi, I'm Tealish, and this is Coffee and Clix. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Also, Coffee and Clix is proudly sponsored by Highlander Games in Boonton, New Jersey. So go check them out on Facebook if you are interested in singles or sealed product for Heroclix or any other games that you're interested in. Check them out on Facebook. And let's get started. Today, our guests are Brian Galley and Kennie Pena. Hello.
Hello.
How's it going, guys?
And today we're going to be doing a set review of the new Marvel Heroclix Disney Plus set. So today we're going to focus on the commons and uncommons. So I'm really excited to delve deep into this set and take a look at every figure. The first episode is going to be commons and uncommons. We do have a grading scale that we use for Coffee and Clix. The grading scale is 0, 1, 2, or 3. So if it's a I guess the 0 would be like if we equate it to a herbal tea. The herbal tea puts you to sleep. So if it's a 0 figure, it puts you to sleep. It's an herbal tea. A number 1 figure would be a single espresso. Not really that impressive, but you know, so you would put it at a 1. If you rated it a 2, that would be a double espresso, which would be a more impressive figure or a second tier figure. Something that maybe is playable casual or in sealed. It's good, but it's maybe not quite meta, not quite competitive. And then a number 3, a triple espresso figure would be the top tier meta figures. Yeah. So it's a 0, 1, 2, or 3 rating. You can also say, it's a 3 in sealed, but a 2 in competitive. You could say something like that if you want. Okay.
All right.
So yeah, so I mean that's how we're gonna do it today, and let's start off right away with the commons.
Mm-hmm.
So if we look at the commons, the very first common we have is Captain Carter, Disney Plus set number 001, Captain Carter has 10 speed with charge, 5 range with double target. She's 115 points. She has the shield team ability. She's 11 attack, 18 defense with a special, 4 damage with leadership. And her special is fragile, defend, toughness, and willpower. You can also pay 5 points for her to have her start equipped with the Captain Carter's shield. And she comes in at 115, or she has a 45 point starting line. So the Captain Carter shield, I mean, that's not technically a common, but we can take a look at it. The Captain Carter shield.
That is the defend one, if memory serves. Yeah.
Yes.
Captain Carter's shield. Yep.
So the Captain Carter shield is an equipment, and it gives energy shield. Sorry. No, I'm looking at the wrong one. Captain Carter.
It's
set.
Yeah.
Defend.
So it gives defend, yeah. So Captain Carter's shield gives defend, And if this character can already use defend, then adjacent friendly characters modify defense +1. So in effect, because Captain Carter is a common and she starts with defend, toughness, and willpower. She can give adjacent friendlies +1 defense on her 115 point starting line.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you guys think about this Captain Carter? What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 3?
Well, at the 115 line, I'd probably give it a 1. I don't think I would ever use that outside of sealed, and I mean the sealed obviously depends on pulls, but that's a decent, brick for sealed. At the 45 line, though, I would jump that up to a 2. That's definitely casual competitive. Yeah, especially with the defense shield tacked on.
Kenny, what do you think?
I think I give it a 1 on both, but I can see why it could be somewhat fringe for a casual competitive. I feel that not starting with defend on the lower line kind of hurts its effectiveness with the shield. It's not bad, by the way. 18 defense is always welcome. It's always nice. She does get it later on the dial if she does take damage. But that's something that is hard to control. And she definitely is a fun sealed figure for a common. If you pull her, she will automatically be the top half of your options that you're going to want to play because of what she can do. But again, sealed could be a mixed bag where your other pulls could just be amazing, or your other pulls really need her for them to rally around. So I kind of talked myself into it. I probably give her a 2 now for sealed, maybe a 1 for casual competitive play.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think I would give it a 2 in sealed because it is good. She does start with the if it does come with the Captain Carter shield, which I'm assuming. I don't know if it does. I don't know if it actually comes with that equipment in the pack. But if you do pull her in sealed with the equipment, she has an 18 defend on her 45 point line, which is good. That's always good. So. Yeah. And with leadership and with the shield TA, so I mean I think that's pretty good for 50 points. I would give her a 2 in sealed. I don't think she's really competitive. I would give her a 1 in competitive though. So all right, so let's take a look at the next figure. So that was the first figure from the commons. The next figure is Skinny Steve Rogers, set number 002. He's 15 points. I really like this figure. He's 15 points.
He's phenomenal.
Four range with single target. He has the keywords Howling Commandos, Past, Shield, and Soldier. By the way, Soldier keyword is getting a lot stronger in this set. I feel like there's a lot of soldiers. Real name Steve Rogers. Damage power. So he's got willpower through his dial. He's got 3 clicks. Only 15 points. Damage power leadership. When Skinny Steve Rogers uses it, friendly characters within range are considered adjacent. So, Kenny, what are your thoughts on Skinny Steve Rogers?
Oh, I think he's 3 everywhere. Any way you look at it, for 15 points, his combat values aren't there, but you're not playing him for his combat values. You're playing him for 15-point leadership that doesn't have to be adjacent. You're playing him for a cheap shield, which is a modifier to range, which that's it's not something you often do, but when you have it available, you definitely take it. You take advantage of it. And just talking about the last character where someone needs a little help with their combat values, boom, there you go, 18 defend. So you pulled this guy with Captain Carter. He's probably a quadruple espresso. But if you're playing him on your own, he's still giving you that triple shot in competitive play, 15-point leadership. We saw a world in 2018 where Groots were everywhere. Now, thankfully, he was able to be played with thematic other characters and be a theme team at 20 points and provide bystanders. But for 5 points less, him doing that on any team, I don't see how anyone can view this character less than a triple espresso.
Easy. Three star. This figure is fantastic. You mentioned the soldier keyword, but it's also worth pointing out he does have the past keyword, which means he themes with Latveria. This is a just stellar competitive figure. Like, one of the best support figures we've seen in some time.
Yeah, I love this figure. I definitely give it a 3. 15 points for it's like one of the cheapest leaderships out there with good keywords. I mean, he's definitely that's not all he does. You know, he can pull it off of characters within range, so he's really good for sure.
And himself.
And himself. Yeah. Plus, he's got willpower, so he could double pull it off himself. So that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And plus, the shield TAs just makes it even better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's just gravy. You put gravy in your espresso. Oh my god.
All right, so let's take a look at the third figure in the set, which is Scarlet Witch, set number 003. Okay, she is a common. She has got 6 range with 2 targets. Avengers in Initiative and Mystics team abilities. She comes in at 70 points or 30 points. And no special powers or anything like that. At 70 points, she starts with Running Shot, Energy Explosion, and Energy Shield Deflection. She's got 11 attack, 3 damage. At 30 points, she's got Force Blast, Defend, and Support. And 17 Defend, and then she's got Support, so she can possibly, you know, do some supporty type things. What do you guys think of her?
On the 70 line, I'd probably give it a 0. It doesn't do anything for me. Maybe in sealed, but yeah. 30 line, that warrants some consideration. Celebrity is a keyword that's getting a lot of support in this set, and Mystical is just always popular. I don't know if the actual power support is the kind of support that team really needs, but she is cheap and she's got the Mystics TA. So maybe give her a 1.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I would give it a 1 too. Maybe a 2 in sealed because healing is always good. And she can do the support. I do like her on her 30-point line better than her 70-point line.
Yep,
I mean, 70-point line is just kind of bland. I would give her probably a 0 or a 1 for that. I would just give her 1s all around, I feel like. How about you, Kenny?
I kind of disagree a little bit with both of you guys. I understand that she's not exciting. She doesn't have all the special text powers you would think a Scarlet Witch might have at a common. But she does have Avengers Initiative. She does have 2 bolts, and she does have Energy Explosion. She is also coming in at 70 points. And I know we'll get through it, but a lot of the commons and uncommons in this set tend to be lower point values. So she is actually bringing the power that other characters might not bring, while those other characters bring the synergy. And I also disagree with the 30-point line. I think that's more of a filler than anything else. But again, I do think we have a lot of low-point characters, so the opportunity for her to act as a filler isn't there. I would give her a 2 in the seal. I would probably give her a 1 in competitive or casual competitive play. I think she's sneaky good. She's 70 points. She brings a lot of efficiency for her cost. But again, not seeing any traits or special powers, I get it. You look at her at first glance, it's like it's very vanilla, and then when you play her or you practice with her, you'll be like, she's going to be one of those figures like, oh, she's better than I thought.
Yeah, you know what? Like people do underestimate stealth busting and like improved targeting hindering. I think people underestimate that sometimes. It's actually really powerful. So, all right. So let's take a look at the next figure in the set, which is Vision. Her. So let's see. Vision is set number 4, and she's 6 range with single target. He's also got the Avengers Initiative team ability. He's 70 points or 30 points. He's got 10 speed with charge, 11 attack with quake, 18 defense with invulnerable, 3 damage. He has 30-point line. He just starts with phasing teleport and super senses and shape change, which is really good. He can carry. He's got passenger 3, but only to carry characters with the celebrity keyword. So, my initial thoughts is, this would be really fun to build with a Celebrity team, just in casual, I don't think this is going to be competitive really, but because his speed values are kind of low, but he's still, good. If celebrity becomes like a really good keyword, then he has some potential. What are your thoughts?
So celebrity keyword is already kind of good. There's a character called Marvella that lets
Yeah.
celebrity become
Yes,
Spider-Man
yes,
family.
yes.
But I do agree with everything you just said, where I still, given that information, he probably won't make those competitive teams. I think he's okay in Sealed. I know he's the same point values as Scarlet, as Wanda, but or the Scarlet Witch, whatever her name is. He brings a little less to the table though. The carry for 3, that's something that I would want to play at 30 points comboed with the super resistant shape change just to be as annoying to hit as possible. Playing him at 70 points, yeah, he could do a thing or two, but I think you get your value compared to the last figure you just saw. I rather have her at 70, rather have him at 30. That's a nice little cute 100-point package if that is what your pulls are looking like. So one, two, what? Yeah, I would say 1 for sealed, 1 for fringe competitive, maybe even 0 for fringe competitive. Even though I don't think he's that bad, but we kind of got to give some zeros here, don't we?
Yeah. Sealed, I give 70-point tile. I gotta give it a 0. Outside of sealed, and only if I don't have a better attacker. But at that 30-point line, I could go as high as a 2.
Yeah.
Casual, it's gonna see play. That is a decent speed value, and it's phasing, which is great for a taxi. And the shape change super senses deters the opponent from even wanting to try for that. That's not points that are easy to give up. That's kind of what you want to see in a taxi. He's cheap, he gets you where you need to be, and he's hard to hit.
We'll wait for you to get back into the taxi. Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at the next figure in the set, which is Captain America. Sam Wilson, Captain America. He's 45 points, but you can pay 5 points extra to start with the Captain America shield. We'll take a look at the Captain America shield real quick. So Captain America's shield is, and I don't actually know if Captain America's shield comes in the same pack as this figure. So, you have to, I don't think so, because Captain America's shield is a rare, looks like. But Captain America's shield says energy shield deflection, equip effect energy shield deflection. If this character can already use energy shield deflection, it instead modifies his defense by +3 instead of by +2. So that's really good. So Captain America already starts with energy shield deflection. He's got traded energy shield deflection and force blast. He's 4 range with a single target, 12 speed with charge. He's a flyer. He's got 11 attack, 18 defense with willpower, and 3 damage with enhancement. If you start with that equipable Captain America shield, then he's at range. You're looking at a 21 because it's +3 defense at range. So, I think he's really good in sealed. Brian, what do you think about Captain America?
Likewise, this is definitely a sealed figure. I know the initial reaction is to scoff at the fact that he's got charge and energy shield, which potentially the equipment that enhances energy shield. But you got to look at him as sort of a secondary attacker, taxi type figure. He can carry someone in. He's got the enhancement to make that range attacker better, and then he can charge in to play cleanup. So I'd give him probably a 2 for seals, probably a 1 outside of that.
I think both of you hit the nail on the head. There's nothing much more I can add to it. I think people underestimate how charge and energy shield deflection can be efficient, where he wants to get in there, but he has to kind of set himself up to get in there. And what better way to defend yourself from range attacks? Now, granted, someone else can charge into you, but that's just the game. There's going to be a lot of counterbalances, so counters to other counters and things like that. But Brian said it perfectly, where he comes in, he force blasts you, he does his job, and then he sets himself up where if a range attack is coming from that character, he has to hire a better or the more efficient defense for that. But he definitely isn't your primary attacker. He's probably your secondary or tertiary attacker. And he's our first enhancement piece. So, you know, for 45 or 50 points, that's not a bad little package. I'll probably give him 2 for sealed, 1 for casual fringe play. I kind of wish he had the celebrity keyword because I think by the end of the show he was considered a celebrity, but Avengers and Soldier, those are 2 strong keywords too. Can't go wrong with those.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Yeah, I agree with everything you guys said. I would give him like maybe a 2 in sealed and a 1 in competitive. He wants to get in there and then, but you know, he wants in order to approach, he needs the energy shield deflection, and then once he gets in there, he knocks you back with the force blast, and then kind of rinse and repeat. You know.
Worth mentioning, Force Blast does work with range now. So with his 4 range, he actually could knock someone out of positioning from 4 squares away, which, you know, doesn't sound fantastic. But again, you never know. Those situations might happen if Captain Carter sharing that 18 or 19 defend, and you just don't want her in that position, so you could hit the Skinny Steve at 15 defense instead.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad action to take.
At 12 speed, that's a 6 square charge. There's a lot of situations where you can get him on like the far side of someone to knock them out towards the rest of your group.
Yeah.
There you go. So let's take a look at the next figure, which is Winter Soldier, his partner. Okay. Let's see. He's 50 points. Set number 006. Winter Soldier. 6 range with single target. 8 speed with running shot, 11 attack with a special, 18 defense with toughness, 3 damage with empower. Okay. He has a trait, combat reflexes, and leap climb. And he has his attack power is where's the shoot. Once per turn, when Winter Soldier is placed, after resolutions, you may give an action token to an adjacent opposing character. So I guess he has to be placed, so that means if he's carried, most likely.
Yeah. Carried,
like that 12th movement Falcon, Captain America we just saw. Yeah, that's being carried is being placed. So it's a nifty little ability there.
Yeah, that goes along with the Captain America we just saw too, because he can charge, carry, and Winter Soldier, and then he gives an action token to an adjacent character, and that plays well with his combat reflexes because now he's adjacent, but he's got the combat reflexes, so hard to hit.
He also has the empower, which makes that charge attack hit a little bit harder, and then he has the leap. He has the combat reflexes, so once he gets placed adjacent, he can defend himself better. He has the leap climb, so if he wants to use his running shot, get away, and make some space, he has a relatively easier time doing so, especially if based next to someone with plasticity. So there is there's good synergy here between those 2 figures, but it doesn't have to be that Captain America. It could be anyone that really carries. It could be anyone that TKs. I think this is a solid. If I pull him, I probably want to play him. I'm probably giving him a 3 in seal in the casual competitive world. 1, maybe 2 if I really, a fun weeknight. I want to have 2 of these guys and just dropping shoots on everyone.
Yeah,
that seems fun to me, but that's probably where I rank it.
Easy 3 in sealed for me. I'd give it a hard 2 in for casual. This guy might even see some competitive play. You get an Alpha Strike team running in, dropping him off. You get the empower on that initial attack, plus you get to token down your opponent so they don't get to retaliate on you. That's really good. Yeah, 50 points is a little steep, and a lot of these teams want to have a whole smattering of people, but that's a really potent effect. Free action tokens you don't need to hit for, like that's really good.
Yeah, giving out a free action token is really good. Yeah, I would definitely put him at a 2 or a 3 in sealed. I guess a 3 in sealed. I mean, I didn't realize how really good he was, but I mean, empower and then the free action token. I mean, there are a lot of charge pieces around, like a lot of close combat pieces now with the
I'll be honest, full dial running shot, and I don't see myself using that ideal situation because he's just getting dropped adjacent to everyone right off the bat every time.
Well, Captain America also gives him enhancement too, so it's just a lot of good options for low value. Also worth noticing, he has a Wakanda keyword, which I think is phenomenal since he did spend a lot of time in Wakanda rating. So that keyword, and anytime it gets more utility support, it's always welcome.
Very cool. So,
Yeah.
all right, so let's take a look at the next figure, which is Loki. This is there are a lot of Lokis in this set. There's like multiple Lokis from different timelines, but this is like the regular Loki from the Loki show, the star of the show, Loki. He's common, set number
All
7.
the star of the show.
They're all.
Them.
So he's set number 007. He's got 4 range with double target. Mystic's team ability, 70 points. He's got 8 speed with stealth, 11 attack with blades, claws, fangs, 17 defense with combat reflexes, 3 damage with a special. He's got the Asgardian deity, future, mystical, and past keywords, which are great keywords. Real name Loki Lofison. You can pay 5 points to start with the Tesseract. Also, he has a damage power. His damage power is shape change. When Loki uses it, after resolutions, you may place Loki a number of squares away from his current square equal to the D6 result. And we'll take a look at the Tesseract real quick. Tesseract says, effect, phasing teleport. When this character uses it, they can use probability control until your next turn. It's a light object, so you can phase and then use prob if you phased last turn. So, all right. So that's an interesting Loki. He also comes in at 35 points. I failed to mention that. So
that's a spicy 35.
Yes.
So at 35, he starts with 8 speed, 10 attack, 18 defense, and 3 damage. But it's the same power set. He's got super senses and shape change. So what do you think about him at 35 points plus 5 for the Tesseract? So it's really 40.
Yeah, I wish I could in good conscience give him a 3. He's a 2. This is a really fun figure. That shape change special is going to be a gas to play. At 35, I would treat him like a sort of assassin figure to go take out my opponent's support. Mystics will keep people from wanting to attack him, and if they do decide to bite that bullet, there's a good chance that A, they're going to miss, and B, I'm just going to be far away, just stalking towards my next little target to go blades to death. Yeah, 70. I prefer the shape change super senses combo over the shape change combat reflexes, but he's not terrible. I'd give him a 1 for sealed. But two everywhere else.
He reminds me a little bit of the Vision, but they're trying to accomplish different things. Vision is trying to protect his family. He's trying to carry his celebrity friends into battle, and he has a super sense shape change combo for 30 points. This character for 5 or 10 more points could do the same thing, but does bring a little bit more offensive capability, and does bring mystics to the table. So it really depends on what your style is. Like Brian said, if you're looking for that one assassin guy to come in, it's just one guy, disrupt their formation, annoy them, base them, Loki's your guy. If you need someone to do that while setting up the rest of your team, Loki can't do that. Vision can do that. So it's fun to see the similarities or the similarities in designs, but how they can be used in different ways, and it just feels like different characters. The duplication casting is quite annoying. I mean, it's shape change, but better, because I try to hit you, you miss. That character can't do anything anymore. I can now place Loki probably next to another character who might not want to be there that turn, and now all of a sudden you have to deal with a breakaway roll. Or he just poofs and gets out of trouble if he doesn't like what he sees. Also, the flavor text. I don't know if you guys are seeing the card or the preview, but it's top notch. So, for people, I have played with other people who like to read the flavor text when they use their certain power. So it's for those kind of people, and you know who you are if you're watching. It'll be a lot of fun to play these figures in sealed and just say them out loud over and over again.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to go yell at Joe Pangrazio to add flavor text to Clix Nexus. He's had it too easy for too long. He needs to get back to work.
So the flavor text is not on here, or on?
Clix
The
Nexus
flavor text for the standard powers. They usually with the previews of the cards.
Oh, got it.
On
With
the
the
Scott Porter
standard
video when he
powers.
shows, you'll see it there, but I think on Clix Nexus or the other unit sites, they only show the traits and the special powers. They won't show and because then it's just a long list of things. I get
Right.
why they don't do it.
Yeah.
Right, I gotta have to take a look at this guy's card then, because to see what it is.
A lot of them have a lot of fun, flavorful text.
All right, so let's take a look at the Darcy Lewis is the next figure, and she's set number 8. Set number 008. She's 25 points. She's got the shield team ability. Lots of shield team ability here in this set, so that's really good. Very powerful. Always a very powerful team ability. She's got 7 speed with stealth, 16 defense, 8 attack, and 1 damage. As Guardian, Celebrity, Sword, and Scientist keywords. Her damage power is Outwit and Perplex. So, I mean, a great support figure for 25 points with the stealth and the Outwit, and then bonus. She gets Perplex, and then she's got good keywords, Celebrity, Scientist, as Guardian. I mean, I have a feeling Sword is going to be, an up-and-coming keyword. Do you know if there's ever been any Sword keyword figures before in Heroclix? There has. Just like a long
there's
time ago.
There's not many, but there has, yeah.
I want to say that old super rare beast that could do the area effect Outwit had the sword keyword. I don't quite remember. It's been a while.
Yeah,
but
it's seldomly used. We already, and I think we're seeing a lot more in this set. So
yeah,
I want to say the old Abigail brand or Brent, I think was her name, from the Avengers or Secret Invasion set. I forget what set she was. She probably had it, but I can't really name another one beyond that.
So it's nice to see Sword now. And that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think I would give Darcy a 2 or a 3 in competitive. I think she'll definitely get used. I mean, there's so many good support figures out that it's like hard to pick which ones are like the best. But like she's, I mean, anytime you have a low point stealth outwit figure, that's always useful.
Definitely in the low end of 3 for me, but in both sealed and just competitive. It's cheap, it's perplex, it's outwit, it's shield. What's not to love?
Yeah, no, I can't really add anything else. She's 25 points. She gives you 2 outwit, perplex, utility powers that are always so useful. It brings a shield TA. She's 4 clicks long, which most characters usually do 3 damage. So if you kind of hit her, she's still sticking around. And she still has special power there. The keywords are phenomenal. Where Celebrity, we could clearly see, is getting a lot of love. Scientist is always one of those keywords that's always worth considering. And as Guardian, aka Spider-Man family, because Mary Jane Watson exists from the War of the Realms set. So 3 in sealed, I would say a high 2 in that competitive world. And as we see more characters come out within this set or future sets, and as things retire, her having that low cost utility, I can only see it. I can only see the value going up. But as of right now, she probably is a fringe play. But maybe a year from now, who knows? She could definitely be an auto play.
Okay, and let's take a look at the next figure, which is Killmonger. Killmonger is set number 009. He is 60 points. He's got running shot and energy explosion, 18 defense with willpower, 3 damage with outwit, and he's got traded stealth. He also comes in at 30 points, where he has charge instead of running shot, and then charge blades and leadership for 30 points. Charge blades, claws, fangs, 17 toughness, and 3 damage with leadership. He's got the Soldier, Stark Industries, Wakanda, and Warrior keywords. Real name Eric Stevens. What are our thoughts about Killmonger?
Yeah. You want to go ahead? You go first.
Okay. 60-point line doesn't do much for me. I'd give it a 1. Definitely good for sealed. 30-point line, I'd give it a 2. It's some solid casual fodder just for padding out a team. Cheap leadership, cheap blades, charge. Yeah, if you're building a warrior themed team, there's definitely worse options out there.
So I kind of like where he is. I don't think he excels at any one thing, but he does a lot of things really well. You want to look at his 30-point line. He's all about, that's cheap leadership. Skinny Steve Rogers gives you cheap leadership, potentially better. Skinny Steve Rogers can't fight against a paper mache bag. Killmonger can. So we're looking at the 60-point line. He's about a running shot energy explosion, similar to what the Scarlet Witch did at the common level. He also brings out with. He can't see through hindering. She can. So, but now he's a 10-point cheaper option compared to her. So based on what you're looking for and based on what you're doing, and we're not even out of commons yet. There's a lot of options for the different power sets or combinations that you're looking for. And there might be a world where you're like, I do want to play that 70-point Scarlet Witch. I want to play that 60-point Killmonger because I just want to be able to blow up everything I can as much as possible for 2 clicks. Or if you just want to focus on the leadership and the hyper efficiency of low cost characters, you might want to play with the 30-point line to help clear tokens off along with the Skinny Steve Rogers. Heck, you might play, he's a common, you might pull 2 of these guys. And now, you can just double up on whatever it is you need. I say that he's probably a 2 in sealed, probably a high 1, a low 2 in that competitive fringe world. I don't think you'll see like competitive, high-end competitive play, but weekly hobby night or whatever. I could definitely see building a team around this guy and having fun, just having a lot of different options at my disposal for a small package.
Yeah. So I would give him maybe a 2 in sealed. Even at 60 points, Outwit is really good and Energy Explosion is good. So like what Kenny was saying, there's so many options you can use him for different things. Outwit is very important power in seal play. So
absolutely, yeah.
Just having an Outwit on your team. Yeah, I would agree with both of you guys. I would say a 2 for Killmonger in sealed, and maybe in competitive I would give him a 1. I feel like I don't know if he's really meta.
Yeah,
all right, so let's take a look at Gamora, Daughter of Thanos. Gamora, Daughter of Thanos is set number 0010, set number 10. 60 points. She's got the Guardians of the Galaxy team ability. 0 range with 2 targets. 10 speed with charge, 11 attack with Quake, 18 defense with Invulnerable, 3 damage with a special. She's got a lot of keywords: Assassin, Black Order, Cosmic, Guardians of the Galaxy, Minions of Thanos, Ruler, and Warrior. Her damage power is Ruthless, Close Combat Expert, Exploit Weakness. When Gamora, Daughter of Thanos, KOs an opposing character, after resolutions, heal her 2 clicks. Okay.
Yeah.
Kenny, what do you think?
Me. In Seal, we're saying Winter Soldier's 3. If I pull her and Winter Soldier doesn't look like a 3 anymore. I mean, you can't affect her with modifiers, perplex, or from opposing effects because of the Guardian's team ability. She hits like a truck. I know invulnerability is, impervious, invincible are usually the ones that people want, but reducing damage by 2 is never a bad thing. And she has opportunity to heal while consistently having 3 damage, and her attack value never dropping below a 10, and very difficult to find ways to drop her attack value below 10 because of her team ability. This is a 3, maybe a 4 in Seal. This is probably, out of all the commons, and I know we haven't finished yet, she is probably, if you pull her, you are playing her, there are no questions asked.
Oh yeah.
In the competitive casual world, I think she really is a 1. She might not break the meta scene at all, but in those comic accurate nights or thematic nights or theme team keywords nights, she will shine there. Where if people want to play with their low rarity figures, have fun and things like that, I like a high 1 in the casual competitive fringe world. For those fun hobby nights, she's probably a 3 there as well. Yeah, she's nuts.
Yeah, not my kind of figure, but I can't deny that she is just good at what she does. But yeah, don't have much else to can't talk much else to add to that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to add. It's really good in sealed. I would give her a 3 in sealed. Maybe not really competitive. I would give her 1 competitive. Yeah. But she's, I mean, they've made so many good Gamoras now. So You know, you have your pick of, you know, if you like Gamora and you're playing casual and you want to play a Gamora, there's so many different ones that are good. So, yeah, I really like her. She's powerful at what she does as a charge exploit figure with 2 targets, by the way, and Quake. So she could deal out a lot of damage, and she's got great keywords.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a look at Hunter B15, set number 11.
Yep.
Hunter B15 is 30 points, police team ability, 4 range with 2 targets. She's got 8 speed with phasing teleport, 10 attack with a special, and 18 defense, and 3 damage with exploit weakness. She's got the future, past, police, and soldier keywords. Real name unknown. And her attack power is you are now moving at 1/16 speed, but feeling all that pain in real time. Incapacitate. When Hunter B15 uses it, after resolutions, hit characters given an action token are knocked back 3 squares in any direction of your choosing. So they have to be given an action token in order for that to trigger, and when that happens, you can knock them back 3 squares, but in any direction that you want. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I would really. I mean, it's kind of situational because you have to get her in position with the 8 speed facing teleport, so you can kind of get her in position there.
Right.
I don't know how I feel about her. I would say maybe I would give her a 1, but maybe a 2. I'm not sure. What do you think, Brian?
Well, for competitive, she's probably a 1 or a 0. I don't see any major competitive betting on her. But in sealed or for casual play, I'd give her a 2. That sort of a repositioning effect can be very punishing, and if you move her up into place one turn, the pressure that exerts on the opponent, they have to deal with her or move, and for only 30 points, that's pretty good. You actually connect that incapacitate, and it's straight into the kill box with your opponent's figure as they go.
Yeah, and it's funny. I know we saw a preview for an uncommon that definitely would ramp her up. So let me just get the obvious out of the way. I think she's a 0 in competitive play. For that casual fun play, yeah, she might see some play, but I don't think it's worth giving her a ranking there. I think where she shines the most is with the PD team ability. And for 30 points, that's not too bad. She probably is a 1 on her own. I think if you play her with the Mobius that we'll get to later, the uncommon that kind of weaponizes characters that can use facing teleport, that's where she might become a high 2 in sealed play because she has the opportunity to use a PD ability. She can incap you from range 4 squares and then move around the characters that you want, or she just gets in there and just exploits you for 3. Getting hit for 3 penetrating damage from a 30-point character is not something you want to experience ever. So that's but she unfortunately, I think she needs a little help to maximize all those things. I get what you're saying, Brian. When she does pull those things off, she can do it alone, but it's going to be tricky for her. So
yeah,
a 1 for me, and if she gets her coworkers, she might be a 2.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the flavor of just like seeing Hunter B15 come up to you and like tase you or whatever that weapon is that she has.
Yeah.
She's like knocking you back 3 squares and like exploiting you, and it's pretty fun to imagine. So here we go. Next figure is Batroc. Batroc, I'm glad to see another Batroc's Brigade figure come into Heroclix. He's 30 points. 0 range with a single target. He's got 10 speed with charge, 11 attack, 18 defense with nothing, just plain, and then 2 damage with close combat expert. He has improved movement characters. He's got the assassin, Batroc's Brigade, and martial artist keywords. What do you think about Batroc? I mean, I think he's good for 30 points. A 12 attack, 3 damage charge figure for 30 points is like really good.
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay, thank you. I think for sealed, he's probably a high 1, maybe a low 2. 6 clicks for 30 points. That's insane value. I think we're getting closer to the end of the commons, and can we really count or remember how many characters actually have damage reducers? There's not a lot. So 2 damage is more than enough. With close combat expert, 3 damage is more than enough to get you where you need to get to in sealed. I think outside of that, he's probably a 1, maybe a 0 in competitive play. I would play him because I just love that sculpt. It's just so it's I don't want to say it's goofy looking, but it's different. It's interesting. So just having a bunch of Batrocs sleeping around and you see it looks like I don't know a dog on a fire hydrant. It's just funny to me. But for 30 points, he does bring the value. Late end, he loses the close combat expert. He does have flurry, so he really just beats up on the other characters that don't have damage reducers, and he can still hit you with toughness. And again, taking damage from a 30-point character, not the most fun thing in the world. 100B15 definitely could do it a lot harder, but Batroc with the right support, he'll get you what you need.
Mm-hmm. That I am characters too. He'll just run straight into the middle of your formation and just take a crack at whatever support is gluing your team together. It's I would never run him in constructed, but in sealed, he definitely would find his way onto most of my teams. So give him a 2 for sealed and 0 elsewhere.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with all that you guys said.
Also, worth noting, most sealed teams are going to be consistent of commons and uncommons because those are going to be the characters you pull the most. So,
of course,
I know a lot of people will see the rares, supers, and chases, and they have these abilities, and they get starstruck a little bit, like, oh, I can't hurt that character. Just like you could hurt everyone else with this other character. Because chances are you're not playing 3 chase characters. That's impossible. Or
if my Batroc and Loki can just go take out the majority of my opponent's team and let my super rare come in and
So when it comes to the sealed mentality, you gotta put a little bit more weight into your commons and uncommons because that's going to be the bulk of your sealed experience, no matter where you go or how many times you play.
All right, let's take a look at T'Challa Star-Lord, which is set number 13. He's 50 points. He's got the Guardians team ability, 5 range with double target, 8 speed with running shot. He's a flyer, 11 attack with penetrating psychic blast, 17 defense with ESD, energy shield deflection, and 3 damage with leadership. And that's it. It's just a straight up dial, no specials. Guardians of the Galaxy, Pirate, Ravagers, and Wakanda keywords. Really cool to see more pirates. I like pirates. So everybody likes pirates. So So what do you think about T'Challa?
Ninjas.
Yeah, except what do you think about T'Challa Star-Lord at 50 points?
He's a common, so we're mostly looking at sealed, and this is a solid sealed figure. Dual target, side blast. I mean, 3 damage isn't everything you'd want, but still, when we get to the higher rarity stuff and you start seeing some reducers, if I pull Star-Lord, I'm happy to see that penetrating damage on my team.
He's the first common we've seen that has penetrating psychic blast. I think we've seen 100B15 with exploit and T'Challa with penetrating psychic blast. So, again, we haven't seen many characters with the reducers, but we're gonna get there. These commons provide answers to that problem, and you're going to pull the commons more often. 5 range, not, it's good. I know if you told me he was 9 range, of course I'll be happier, but for 5 range, he's doing what he needs to do. He does provide extra leadership as well. He has back end precision strike and perplex, so he can provide he can mitigate the defenses of those annoying tie-up characters like the Vision or the Loki if he's a little bit damaged. So their super senses don't succeed as often. I also think, if we remember correctly, we saw some enhancement characters. We saw some shield TA characters in the common slot. So again, when you're working with your pool of commons, that 5 range could be a 7 or an 8 range very fast. That 3 damage can be a 4 damage with that 7 or 8 range. It's a very efficient 50-point character at a common slot. for sealed format so far that we're seeing that doesn't have many reducers. So it's just good, efficient damage from the safety, where he can use the leadership to help those characters stay clear to provide that utility for the following turns. I would give him a high 2 in sealed. I agree with Brian. Probably competitive play. Yeah, probably a 0, maybe a 1, but that's where I see him.
Yeah, I think I agree with both of you about T'Challa. I think high 2 or 3 in sealed because of the running shot penetrating, and 1 in competitive. So let's take a look at Monica Rambeau, which is set number 14. She is 25 points. She's got the shield team ability, 4 range with single target, 8 speed with no powers, 10 attack with a special, 17 defense with super senses, 2 damage with shape change. She also does have a stop click on her last click, which is stop super senses. And she's only 25 points with that stop click, so seems kind of annoying for the opponent. Celebrity and sword keywords. Wanda, special power. Wanda, listen to me. This is special attack power. Power, choose an opposing character within range and line of fire. Until your next turn, Monica Rambeau gains immobile, and when the chosen character attacks, it can only target a character named Monica Rambeau.
Yeah. I'm giving her a high 2, low 3 for constructed, sealed, and this figure is amazing. I can't wait to get my hands on her. The 25-point character with 2 rollouts that can force your opponent's biggest attacker to either A, waste attacks on her, or B, have the rest of the team waste attacks trying to get her KO'd with that stop and 2 rollouts. The amount of pressure she can exert on your opponent's plans is staggering. I need this figure.
Yes. Also, not to mention, I think she can be called in Silver Age, right? Is there a?
She can. Yeah. There's a Photon with real name Monica Rambeau. Is it Photon Spectrum? She's got so many names. There is an ID card for her.
That might be a cool trick to call her in and then power action to make everybody attack her. Or make one with. It's only one character.
The real name option for the ID cards. It's only the character named. If I remember correctly.
She was Avengers, which had the real names. It was the X-Men
there was a general errata for all ID cards to have the phrasing of the newer ID cards that no longer had the real name option. You can look it up later because that's not the focus of this conversation. But
okay, so what do you guys think? So
she's phenomenal.
Yeah, she's phenomenal character. So she's, I would say, 2 or 3 competitive for sure, and then also really good sealed. So I would give her 2s or high 2 all around for her.
I would say a high 2 in sealed for sure. I see what she could do in competitive. I think it requires too much effort to pull it off. It is a power action, so she can't be carried and do it. She would have to be TK'd to do it, and that's already 2 of your potential 4 actions, assuming you have +1 action total, to pull that off. And I think with constructed, most teams will be equipped to handle characters with powers like this or super sensitive shape change. She also could just put out with it, and that's
That's true. Yeah,
she's siphoning off outwits from the rest of my team.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah. That's usually something I like to say. But I can see how she could be impactful here and there. I just think there are too many options existing, and it requires too much effort for her to get the proper setup to do it. But I'll be more than happy to be proven wrong if someone finds a way to do it. So I'm not poo-pooing this character at all. I think she's great. I think she'll do wonderful in sealed, and I will be more than happy to see her excel in the constructed world. I just don't see it right now. But that's why they play the games, right?
All right, let's take a look at Jimmy Woo. We're almost done with the comments. We have 2 more. So Jimmy Woo is set number 15. He is 20 points. He's got the police team ability, 4 range with single target, 7 speed with plasticity, 10 attack, 17 damage, and 17 defense, and 2 damage with perplex. Celebrity, detective, mystical, police, and sword keywords. Why is he mystical? I'm not sure. So
it's the card trick.
Yeah, Brian.
Oh, the card trick.
He does the close-up magic flourish. Come on, it's
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's actually
master
cool.
of the occult, right there. Yeah.
yeah. That was the single greatest character arc in the entire MCU. You got to give Jimmy Woo his credit.
So all right,
For whatever it's worth, it's a welcome keyword. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so so cheap perplex with plasticity with the police team ability. There's ton of value here. I'd give him twos all around. I would give him.
Likewise, easy 2 for sealed, high 2, low 3 for competitive. This is cheap modifier supplying filler for some good keywords.
If you don't pull Darcy and you pull this guy, you're playing him. If you pull Darcy and this guy, I can see a world where you don't play him, but you could just play both. So he is probably a 2.99 espresso in sealed. In the competitive world, he's probably a 2. I mean, that's cheap perplex, 20 points with the mystical keyword of all the keywords now.
and PD, that's a 2-point swing in defense. You can perplex up your attack and PD down your defense.
You need cheap modifications. This is your guy. So I'm not going to sit here and say autoplay on all mystical teams, but worth considering for sure.
Yep.
All right. And then our last comment of the set is, and then we're going to move on to the uncommons. So this is the last comment. It's Baron Zemo, set number 16. He is 4 range with single target. He's 30 points. He's got a 9 speed with a special, 11 attack, 18 defense with willpower, and 3 damage with leadership. He has the Assassin, Masters of Evil, Ruler, Soldier, and Spy keywords, which are good keywords. He's got a speed power, which is, and you'll give up your tour guide, passenger 2, leap, climb, and stealth. And I believe he can use that leap climb while he's carrying people. So he's a really good cheap little taxi with leadership. I like him a lot.
Brian, I feel like I've been saying this for a lot of the commons, but this is basically an auto run and sealed. It's cheap. It gives you a much needed power leadership, and you can't turn your nose up against a 9-speed passenger. He constructed. There are better taxis, but there might not be better taxis on his keywords.
Yeah, I mean, I think the difference between him and that Vision that we saw that carries 3 and was also 30 points is that Baron Zemo has leadership, which makes him...
Yeah. Leadership and willpower. He'll clear himself after he moves and possibly clear the guy he's carrying.
Yep. So, and what Zemo has going for him, even though he carries 1 less character, Vision is limited to his keywords, while Zemo isn't. Zemo has the better offensive capability compared to Vision at 30 points, but while he does have 18 defense, which is statistically a higher number than the 17 with Vision, if you take into consideration all the probability of getting hit with the Shape Changer Super Sense roll, you can probably surmise that Vision is better defensively. So again, here's your give and takes here, where if you pull these 2 different characters who are trying to do something similar, the way they do it is very differently. And Brian, like you said, if you try to play him outside of chances are you want to build a theme team, the keywords that he has are a little bit more wider versus the Vision, who is just 2 key Avengers celebrity, but he's only limited to 1, so might as well just ignore the Avengers keyword for that aspect. So it's interesting how you have characters doing similar things, but they feel different at the same time because the way they want to do it is the way they go about doing it is differently, and they excel in that variance of how they want to proceed with their effects.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot to say. I'm sorry. He's probably a 2 in sealed for sure. Probably a 1 in the fringe competitive play, maybe a high 1, but I get what he can do. I don't know. Maybe after we see more of the set, I'll change my mind. But I that's where I have him there for that competitive fringe.
Okay, wonderful. So we have finished the commons in the Marvel Heroclix Disney Plus set, and now we are going to move on to the uncommons. Let's take a look at the first uncommon, which is Post-Apocalyptic Black Widow, set number 17. She is 50 points. She's got 8 speed with running shot, 11 attack with precision strike, 18 defense with toughness, 2 damage with range combat expert. She's 5 range with 2 targets. Keywords: Avengers, Future, Martial Artist, Shield, and Spy. Real name: Natasha Romanoff. Trait: she's traded Survival Tactics, Steel Energy, and Stealth. So traded Stealth and traded Steel Energy.
Yeah.
I mean, running shot, precision strike with 2 targets. So that's pretty good. And she's got the stealth, so she can run around, shoot, and kind of remain in stealth. So I like her for sealed. I like her for sealed.
Oh, yeah. Constructed.
I think
she's a. You go. Sorry.
I'm sorry. No, I think she's a monster for sealed. We just finished the comments. We saw a handful of characters that rely heavily on super senses, and she brings, not the complete answer, but she brings a very heavy weapon towards it. And like the T'Challa at 50 points for the 6 clicks and the efficiency, she's bringing different powers to the table. She has a range combat expert. We saw a whole bunch of PD. We saw a lot of enhancement. We saw a lot of shield. I mean, if you pull her and you have a lot of those Jimmy Woos, Darcy's, and those characters laying around, and with her having that steel energy, you know, she's worth building around. She can definitely be a low primary, a high secondary attacker. I think she's a very strong 3 in that sealed played world. As long as you have the Avengers keyword, you're always an option with Avenger swap. So she's probably a high 1, a low 2 in that competitive fringe world.
Yeah, she maybe agree. She's probably only a 1 in competitive, but sealed easy 3. The traded stealth. She's got that great mobility, the running shot, since like the range combat expert. I'll think of the word for a second. She's a threat that has to be dealt with. Your opponent's going to have to get her into close to hit her, and once they hit her and she swaps over to that blade CCE plasticity, that's not a figure you want to be next to.
And she can heal off that and then run away. Like there's, it's she feels very Black Widowy.
Right.
Yeah. All right, and then this figure is really interesting. The next uncommon would be
oh boy,
Doctor Strange Supreme. He's got 2 starting lines, but I mean, let's take a look at his 195 point starting line. So he comes in at 195 points or 95 points, and the reason for that is because you can add 5 points to start with the cape. The what's the name of the
Cloak of Levitation?
Yeah, the cloak of levitation. Okay. He's set number 18, Doctor Strange Supreme. 8 range with 2 targets. He's got Cosmic Energy and Mystic's team ability. 195 points plus the 5-point trait to start with the Cloak of Levitation. He has improved targeting hindering. We could take a look at the Cloak of Levitation, which is one of my favorite objects in the set. If we take a look at it, the Cloak of Levitation grants flying, plasticity, and sidestep, and is a light object. Okay, for 5 points. But you're not actually...
PJ Bullen called it the best object Wizkids has ever made, and I can't say he's wrong.
Yeah, I almost agree with that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So all right, where is Doctor Strange? There we go. So Doctor Strange starts with that if you pay 5 points. He's got 12 speed with running shot, 12 attack with penetrating psychic blast, 19 defense with energy shield deflection and invincible, and 4 damage with running with range combat expert. So, and keep in mind, range combat expert does combo with penetrating psychic blast and with running shot. So he's really shooting for 13 for 5 when he's making a range attack. He's got invincible, which was previously a benched power. So now invincible's back, and he's got energy shield deflection. He's got that sidestep, that plasticity. He's a flyer when he starts with the cape, with the cloak. He's got mystics. He's got cosmic energy, so he can't be outwitted. He's got 8 range with 2 targets, which is really huge. This guy's a beast, right? Kenny, what do you think?
Yeah, this is your sealed monster, I guess. I feel like he had something similar in the Wonder Woman set with Common Superman, who you felt very confident about it, but it didn't win all the time because there's other characters that you have to take into account, and I think this is another example here where for 2/3 of your build, he feels like 2/3 of your build, maybe even more, and at the end of the day, Heroclix is a game of team building and actions. And if you are going up against a team that is well put together, that can maximize their 4 actions, and you're playing this guy and you maybe only do 3 actions, you can't afford to miss. You can't afford to make a mistake. You can't afford to misplace or misposition. That being said, if you play this guy efficiently and everything goes your way, you're going to win 9 out of your 10 games easily. So it's never my preference to play with characters that have such a high cost. I do it when I need to, and it's something that I recognize is a necessity. I always like to have more characters around me, but for those who like that tentpole feel, here you go. Here's your guy. He has almost everything you would need based off what you're going up against in the common slots. And we haven't seen the higher rarities, but I'm confident you'll have those tools that are going to be effective against the higher rarity figures. So this is your sealed monster. This is I'm breaking your system here. This is your 5-star play.
Yeah.
5 shots of espresso. Yeah. Highly caffeinated figure. But
just at that point, just pump it into the veins.
IV drip.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you're pulling this in sealed, you're probably not pulling the cloak, actually, right? So he's not starting with the sidestep plasticity flying, I don't think, right? Or, but that probably, I mean, it matters, but I'm not sure. I mean, I was wanted to ask you, Kenny, if you were gonna if you pulled this figure in sealed, would you play him exclusively at 195, or would you play him at 95 sometimes?
I have 9 other figures to consider, so I can't answer that. I probably would lean no, but that's my preference. That doesn't mean that if someone does it, they're doing it wrong. That's just how I like to play it. That's how I like to go into a sealed format. When I played competitively, and I did like playing sealed a lot. Actually, I prefer sealed over competitive play. A lot of people might not know that. I like to study the sealed set and what are the commons and uncommons. What am I going to see more, and what figures outside those rarities and what powers are going to be more important? There's plenty of characters that you pull as a super rare and sealed, and it's just like, wow, that character's meta. He might not be meta in his own sealed set though. And it's vice versa with the other rarities. So chances are, based off what we saw so far, he's looking like a strong play for me, but we have a lot of other characters to go, a lot of other figures, and I can't really answer that question honestly, but I definitely would consider it, and that is not my preference, so that should tell you how I feel about this figure.
Yeah, that the 195 line might not be an instant play, but you gotta really look hard at what the other figures you pulled are before. Because that 13-5 penetrating will vaporize most of the characters in the common uncommon slot. That's most of the characters are facing up against.
We did see a lot of 18s with ESD. We are seeing a lot of defend with 18, and with the shield another +1. So we're looking at maybe a 13 versus 20s and 21s, which when you do the math, it's an average roll.
Yeah.
Nothing against Dr. Strange Supreme. He is bringing the numbers,
Yeah.
But we're also seeing that there are ways to play against it and feel confident that your defenses can hold up. 13s versus 18s, you're looking good. 13s versus 20s and 21s, that's all of a sudden it's like, do I have a proper next to me just in case?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Outside of sealed, and especially if you give him the cloak, go to a local game night type thing, he can hold his own. It's not going to be tearing up the competitive scene anytime soon, but you can have some fun games with 200-point Doctor Strange and some mystical fodder.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jimmy Woo, very accurate.
Exactly right. Yeah,
Jimmy Woo. All right, let's take a look at the next uncommon, which is Mobius M. Mobius. So he is 30 points. He's got police team ability, 6 range with single target. He's got 8 speed with phasing teleport. He's set number 19, by the way. 8 speed with phasing teleport, 9 attack with telekinesis, which I don't think we've seen any TK figures yet. 16 defense with energy shield deflection, and 2 damage with a special. His special power is leadership once per turn for all characters with this effect. When a friendly character within range uses phasing teleport and moves 4 squares or less after resolutions, they may make a close attack.
I like what I was talking about with Hunter B15 and with that exploit. You pull this guy, all of a sudden that Hunter B15 looks a whole lot better. And what Mobius has going for him is that obviously he's meant to play well with his fellow TVA characters who have a teleport. It's not keyword locked. You can do it with any character that has phasing teleport. So if we're looking for characters outside of sealed, this is a high consideration. He's a 30-point TK. He has leadership, and he mobilizes and weaponizes characters with phasing teleport. So I would easily give him a high 2 outside of sealed. I think in sealed, TK alone is worth it. I would say he's probably a 3, but could even be better if you start pulling characters that do have phasing teleport, which most Loki do. The TVA characters, that equipment gives you phasing teleport as well. The Tesseract, so there's a lot of combo ability. I just made up the word. He had.
I don't know. High combo potential with him. Like the Tesseract, you can give anyone a 5-move phase and then attack. That's pretty cool. And we've seen characters with variations of this already. Like there was a Wonder Woman 80 had a Miss Martian that could MC after phasing.
Mm-hmm.
So you run her with Mobius, give her the power action. She'll phase up. She'll take a swing and then mind control. And there's other characters that get those sort of phasing free attack type of. It all works together. It's a potent little strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I never even thought about with the Tesseract. There's a lot of figures in this set that start equipped with the Tesseract. A lot of Lokis. So, the Loki, or even whoever you choose to equip with the Tesseract, they can phase teleport 4 squares and then make the close attack. That's really good. I think Mobius is definitely a 3 in sealed because he's got the leadership and he's got TK and he's got the police team ability. He's only 30 points. So he's definitely a really strong play in sealed.
Yeah, 3 in sealed, 2 outside, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's take a look at the next uncommon, which is Ravonna Renslayer, which is also, she's pretty strong as well. She's 30 points with 4 range sync double target. She's got the police team ability. She's set number 20. 8 speed with phasing teleport. 10 attack with incapacitate. 18 defense with defend, which 18 defend with for 30 points is really good. And then 2 damage with a special. And her special is, I looked out for you, hung my neck out for you. Probability control. Friendly characters with a shared keyword within range and line of fire have safeguard opposing probability control. I mean, that's really good, especially if you're trying to make like an alpha strike or you're trying to, get like a really, like you're if you're making an attack and you really need it to land or need it to hit, and you're giving everybody safeguard opposing prob. That's really good, and she's got good keywords too. So I mean, it has to be characters with a shared keyword, but Her keywords are future, past, police, and politician. I mean, Brian, what are your thoughts on Ravana?
Well, police means Spider-Man, and future past mean Latveria. She teams with some of the best teams out there right now, and protected opposing probably control. I mean, everyone knows that's good, but I mean, I can tell you, I just played a game with the Chase Spider-Man for More Realms, who gives the adjacent characters protected opposing prob, and you don't realize just how much prop gets thrown around until suddenly your opponent can't do it anymore. This is a really solid figure. I'd give her a 3 outside of sealed, probably a 2 inside, because I don't think your teams are going to have quite as much easy access to prob in sealed.
I agree. I think this is our first figure that the sealed rating is going to be lower than the outside rating. And that's just, I kind of just said that with Strange Supreme, and there was other examples where some characters are just like, wow, constructed is fantastic, but within sealed, it's like, okay. And that's the difference between the different mentalities, competitive and sealed play. She's not bad, by the way. I think she is our first probability control character, and we're on character number 20 that we're seeing. So there's not a whole lot.
At least at start, Strange Supreme has it mid-dial. But yeah.
Oh, that's true.
She opens with it.
Still, that's 2 out of 20 characters, and she's the first one that starts with it. So while that's very useful, might not be super effective within this set, I think she shines more outside of the set for the reasons that Brian say. Because she does have prop, she's probably a strong 2 in sealed play, because why wouldn't you want prop? And she also has PD. She could combo with Mobius. She's not as efficient offensively as Hunter B15 or other maybe phasing teleport characters, but the option exists for her. Also PD team ability. So I think she's a 2 in sealed. I think the potential is there where she could be a 3 outside in the competitive world.
All right. Yeah, I agree with everything you guys just said. Ravana, I put her at a high 2 in competitive, maybe a 3. I'll put her a high 2 in competitive, and then sealed, probably like a 2, but like a medium 2. So let's take a look at Vision. This is set number 21. This is the gym shorts Vision. He's wearing gym shorts. He's I mean, if you watch the WandaVision series, this is his costume, his Halloween costume. So there's a whole sub theme in this set of all new Halloween Spooktacular figures that are wearing kind of like Halloween costumes. So this Vision is 45 points. I think they're all 45 points, the entire sub theme, and he's 45 points. He's got the Mystics team ability, 9 speed with stealth, 11 attack, 18 defense with invulnerable, 2 damage with a special. He's got the Avengers, Celebrity, and Robot keywords. Trait, and this is shared with all the Spooktacular figures. All new Halloween Spooktacular, shape change. When Vision uses it and succeeds, heal him 1 click. He also has a stop click. It just says stop at the end of his dial. But he does, don't forget, he does have traded shape change, which protects him a little bit. And then he's got damage power, close combat expert, and exploit weakness. So, he's got the Mystics team ability. For me, Vision is this one is probably the weakest of the Spooktacular figures. I'm not sure, but I mean, for me, I would put him at like a 1 in. I would just give him 1s all around. I feel like I'm not really impressed with him that much. What do you think, Kenny?
Yeah, I know we haven't seen the other ones, but I think of all the ones we've seen, he's the least exciting. He does bring the damage reduction. He does have the vulnerability. We've also seen in this set that there isn't a whole lot of penetrating damage between exploit and penetrating psychic blast. We're on character 21, and I think there's only 3 or 4 characters that have access to it. And again, he's 45 points, so if he's a threat that you want to sink those points into, it's not a bad deal. He also has shape change to protect himself that can heal him with a stop click. So, and Mystics. Anytime you have a character that has Mystics and opportunity to heal, that's a good time for the player, bad time for the opponent. But I do agree with you, Anthony, that once you see all of them together, he probably is the least exciting one. I think if you pull a lot of them in sealed, you might consider him more because of the synergy. If he's the only one you pull, he's probably a 0 or 1. If you start pulling the other ones, maybe a high 1, a low 2. And then outside in the competitive world, he's probably a 0. However, in that fun thematic, theme team night or whatever, where people want to play and have fun and do reenact things, he's 5 stars, he's 3, he's triple, he's everything you would want, because you want to play that entire team together. So
super flavorful. It's
yeah.
For me, he's kind of low 2s all around, say for like competitive or 0. But he might be the least spectacular to look at, but he's Mystics, that he can heal, has a stop, and can soak damage with that invuln. If your opponent wants to put him down, they're gonna have to sink a bunch of attacks into it, cross their fingers and roll that shape change, and eat a fair bit of penetrating damage to pay for it.
Yeah, he's not. I agree. He's not that bad in sealed. Like the thing is, I wish he had like a move and attack, or even facing teleport, so he could combo with more Mobius.
Of course, yeah.
But that's with any figure. That's really with any figure. So but I mean, he's still good because what you guys are saying about he's got the healing and the Mystics team ability. So I didn't realize what Kenny said was that there are not that many figures in the set that have penetrating damage. So you could potentially go base somebody with vision and then just
let's say they don't have penetrating damage. They're going to hit him once. The invuln's going to soak that hit. They'll have to hit him again. That goes to stop. And they'll have to hit him again. I mean, that's 3 penetrating damage he's dealing to your opponent's attackers without him doing anything, just sitting there.
So, let me give you a hypothetical. We saw the Strange Supreme. Now, granted, let's say he's at 200. He has other characters. But in this example, let's say he's by himself. And he has 19 invincible with ESC. So obviously you want to get in his face and shoot him. You want to base him with his vision because he has that penetrating psychic class, not exploit weakness. So he has to get through the shape change or try to break away. Try to break away as a 200-point character from a 45-point character, not a fun time. That's a horrible decision, especially if you fail. You hit this vision, okay? 4 damage. That means 2 pass. I'm on click 3. I still have 11 attack. I still have my 2 close combat expert. I can start putting damage into Strange Supreme with a character that's 1/4 its cost. So, that's how I have to kind of look at it, where it's almost like chess, where, sometimes you have to sacrifice those pawns to try to get the bigger pieces. Sometimes you have to sacrifice a knight or the bishop to try to get the queen. And I know in the Heroclix world, it's somewhat blasphemous to talk about sacrificing figures or giving up points willingly, but that could give you the tempo, that could give you the pace, that could open the door for you to score more points sometimes. And I think this is a good example where, again, I'm not saying he's a competitive figure at all. 0 chance that we'll see him on any top 8 build. But if we're playing a sealed tournament or a big event that has a sealed element to it, this is what you have to consider with this figure and to properly evaluate him. And that he can do things that you normally wouldn't consider if you're only thinking competitively.
Can you imagine in a BR, like if you're sitting across the table from one of these guys? I don't want to be the player that has to put the attacks into that vision.
All right, let's take a look at I think it's his wife, right? Wanda is Vision's wife. So, Wanda Maximoff, also in her costume, her Halloween costume. This is the Halloween Spooktacular Wanda. She's set number 22, 45 points, Mystics team ability also, and she's got 6 range with a single target. Avengers, celebrity, and mystical keywords. Traded shape change when she uses it and succeeds. Heal 1 click, just like Vision. Also, she's got a stop click, just like Vision. And then her damage, she's got 19 defend for 45 points. That's great. Mind control, that's great. And then 2 damage with probability control. Oh wow! And then when Wanda Maximoff uses it to reroll a friendly attack roll, if the attack hits. After resolutions, remove an action token from the attacker. That's great. She's really good.
We were talking about Vision, how he's probably the least exciting one. Let's talk about Wanda, how she is probably the most exciting one. 45 points, Mystics, stop click, 19 defend. That's not something you normally say in a full sentence, what I just said.
I mean,
So where Vision
F-
won't see competitive play, I can totally see this Wanda seeing competitive play. I can also see this
F14s
Wanda
have
being
been.
a
So yeah, F14's been paying 50 points for Ben Grimm with that 19 defend. 5 points less? Yes.
yeah, 2 less bystanders, sure, but she does bring other things to the table. We already talked about how probability control wasn't very common in the set. Here she is bringing it, and she has a cool kicker effect. Now Ravonna has a counter, or something that you want to counter with Ravonna, but that's only one figure, so it's hard to really justify that. But again, if that's what happens in your sealed gameplay, recognizing that and utilizing that to your advantage is a good thing. But yeah, this Wanda is a 3 all around, triple espresso shot for sealed, competitive, thematic, good looking sculpt if you want to put it on your dresser or whatever. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if you even prob and defend just goes so well together, like that 19 defend with prob, because now let's say they need an 8 to hit you and they happen to roll that 8. Now you just say, okay, I'm gonna make you re-roll that.
And miss 6-second heal. So if she gets hit off that 19 defend, there's opportunity for her to get back onto that 19 defend.
Yeah, we haven't touched. We did mention Captain Carter's shield. I mean, you slap that shield on her. Give that a 20 defense out to everyone adjacent to you.
Yes, there's so much. There's a lot of defend figures in this set. So defend is a power that's coming back. Seems to be coming back here in this set. Let's take a look at
Sky Tyrants beware.
Yeah. There we go. Let's take a look at Tommy Maximoff. I think his name in the comics is Speed, right? There's Speed and Wicked, right?
Yes.
So Tommy Maximoff is actually Speed, but this is him in his kind of Quicksilvery costume, right? And he's 45 points. He's got the Mystics team ability, 0 range with a single target. He's Celebrity and Speedster keywords, 8 speed with hypersonic speed, 10 attack with a special, 17 defense with super senses, 2 damage. He's got the Spooktacular trait with shape change, and when he uses it and succeeds, he heals 1 click. He's got his attack power is Precision Strike. When Tommy Maximoff hits with a close attack, hit characters immediately drop any held objects or unequips any equipment. And or unequips any equipment. And then he's got that stop click. So, Brian, what do you think about Tommy?
45 points to de-equip my opponents is a price I will happily pay. In sealed, I mean, hypersonic is always useful, but 10 attack, 2 damage, he'll ding them from with the precision strike. I'd probably give him a 1 or a 2 for sealeds. I have a feeling I'll probably have better figures than him. But constructed, I mean, if Celebrity starts taking off, that is a easy, 3 for me. That sort of equipment hate, I think, can really find a home in play.
Yeah. I agree with you on the sealed. I disagree with you a little bit on the constructed. I see what he could do. I think the 10 attack with 2 damage for the 45 points. If the game shifts to a slower pace, and it might with all this defend, there could probably be a world where investing points into him so that way he can set up and get the higher attack values with the flexes to make sure he hits that attack. Currently, as is right now, I do think the game's a little too fast for that.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I will give him a 1 in competitive. I see potential for a 2 or greater in the future, but we got to see how the meta evolves as more sets come out. In sealed though, I think he's a 2. It's yes, equipment are in this set. I can't remember how prevalent they're going to be. I know they come with certain characters and whatnot, usually high rarity figures, so you might not see them as often as you think. But like you said, Precision Strike, especially with all the commons that have super senses, that's always welcome. And once again, I will keep on repeating it every time you see a character. A Mystics character that can heal is always a good thing. So
Yeah.
it's probably a 2 in sealed for me, a 1 with a good ceiling in competitive play.
Yeah, I agree with Kenny. I don't think he's really competitive. At 45 points, I mean, that's a really good effect that he does, but I mean, not everybody is going to necessarily play with equipment. So for him to, I think it's a lot of point expenditure for that effect. But, he's definitely annoying and sealed for sure because he's got super sensitive shape change and he's got the hypersonic, so he can. And he's got the healing mystics, so which he can be very annoying in sealed. I feel like he's better in sealed than he is constructed. Let's take a look at Kid Loki. Kid Loki is the next figure in the set. He is set number 24. He's one of the alternate timeline Lokis, I think, right? From the series. He's 30 points. He's got the Mystics team ability. He's 4 range with single target. 10 speed with stealth, 10 attack with Blaze Claw's Fangs, 18 defense with willpower, and 2 damage with a special. You could pay an extra 5 points to start with that Tesseract that we looked at before, which gives phasing teleport, and after he uses phasing teleport, he can use prob until his next turn. So he's got his damage power is leadership and shape change. Unique modifier, free. Choose a combat value other than damage until your next turn. Kid Loki has opposing characters within range and line of fire. Modify the chosen value -1. Yeah. Kenny, what do you think about him?
I like him. 30 points, good mobility, especially if you're able to get a Tesseract on him. But if you don't, 10 movement is still good mobility and stealth.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish he started with a super senses instead of the willpower, but I feel like he's more of a positional character, so the willpower does make more sense. Where every turn you might want him to have the ability to reposition and move, because that damage power is what you're playing him for.
Yeah.
Say an aura of a negative modification that Gamora doesn't care about, by the way. But anyway,
Right.
it's still good. We're seeing a lot of high defenses with the Fen, so this is a good way where it's just a wide range for flex to help your characters hit. Also, if you're going up against Strange Supreme and you do not want to deal with that 12 attack, he can get in there and make sure that gets down to an 11,
Right.
And whatever it is you need to do. So I would say he's probably a low 2 sealed play. For funsies, when you're playing all your Lokis together, yeah, he's going to be a 3 there. Competitive play, I like him. I really do. I think that's a neat ability, but I'm also realistic. He probably isn't going to see top 8 fields or competitive fields anytime soon. He's probably a 0 or a 1 there.
Yeah. I'm in agreement with you there. I think there might be a home for him on an Alpha Strike team just to bring in that defense debuff, but I'm not sure that's something we're really going to see. But outside of competitive, yeah, no, this is a fantastic figure. Yeah.
He does play nice with emotional modifier, by the way. That's
this is true.
Yeah, so
yeah, minus 2 attack for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know where I would put him. Maybe I don't think he's going to see competitive play. I'd put him at a 1. He might be a low 2 in sealed. I kind of agree with Kenny, and I kind of agree with both you guys. All right, let's take a look at T'Challa Star-Lord. This is the second T'Challa Star-Lord that we've seen. This one is 100 points or 40 points, and he is the uncommon version. He's set number 25. Guardians team ability, 6 range with single target, running shot, pulse wave, 12 attack with pulse wave, 18 defense with a special, and 4 damage with outwit. Guardians of the Galaxy, Pirate, Ravagers, and Wakanda keywords. His trait, let me introduce you to the family I made along the way. When establishing theme teams, characters on your starting force with the minions of Thanos, Ravagers, or Wakanda keywords gain the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword. Interesting. And then I can see a lot of Silver Age shenanigans with that. And then And then defense power, Wakandan born, Ravager trained, energy shield deflection, and super senses. So I think I like him better. I mean, if with that keyword thing, I mean, I think he's really good at 40 points because you know. But Brian, what do you think about him?
I mean, even in sealed, I think I'd prefer the 40 points. I'd only go look at the 100 if I didn't have a better source of a, you know, like beat stick type character. Glad to see Pulse Wave back though. I know a lot of people consider it to have been, you know, nerfed, but the duration ending effect it has now, I think, is a fair trade-off. You know, you Pulse Wave every character in that Pulse Wave, any effects they have going on, anything duration, perplex, outwit, whatever, is over. It does not come back when the Pulse Wave ends. So, especially, you know, at the 40-point line, you know, you can run in there, you can just delete everything your opponent laid out on their turn, just leave them open for the rest of your team to come in. And then in constructed, I don't know that we have a lot that's really going to look for that sort of keyword building, but I like that we have it. It's definitely a fun thing to have in the toolbox.
Yeah. I think with Empire, we saw that Guardians of the Galaxy keyword got some love. And there was some synergy there with the team abilities and being able to share between the Thing, Kitty Pride. So it's nice that there's a foundation being there and T'Challa can tap into it. With the other keywords and minions, Thanos, Ravagers, or Wakanda, you know, that's obviously flavor from the TV show that he was in the What If episode. So I think that's top notch. Well done there. Sealed play, to me, Pulse Wave is more of a bystander check now. I agree with you with the whole duration check. That is
true too.
But I do think it's I don't know, how do I say it? There hasn't been a need for it yet, even though there's a lot of bystander play out there with maggots and whatnot. So there's utility there, and it's always going to be there as long as he exists, whether you play him at 140. But I do think with this trait, he's definitely a competitive play figure if those keywords get there. So I would say 2 with a high ceiling. In sealed for 40 points, he's probably a 2. 100 points, he's probably a 1. But like Brian said, if you got unlucky with your polls and this is your biggest damage dealer, then chances are you're probably going to have to play him at 100.
Yeah.
All right. So does when you Pulse Wave and it turns off effects, does that last until your next turn, or does that only last for your turn?
So when you Pulse Wave and it turns off powers and abilities, that only lasts for the duration of the Pulse Wave. The thing with durations, though, is that if the effect that created a duration, you know, until your next turn, until you pick again, anytime you see that until, if the effect that created that duration is lost or can't be used, like during Pulse Wave, the duration ends.
Yeah.
So if you have, let's say, characters, you know, got, you know, free, pick a power, you can use that power until your next turn, and you Pulse Wave them, you know, that until your next turn, because the source of that is gone, they lose the power they picked.
That's what I was getting at, because I was thinking about that as a strategy against like Legacy Thanos or something like that, where they pick like a gem or something. Yeah. So they just lose that.
Example, Silver Rage, Unimind. Unimind was very popular back in the day. Probably will be more popular than Silver Rage.
Unimind's a poor example because his trait is protected Pulse Wave, so it doesn't get turned off during the Pulse Wave.
The Perplex as well?
The Perplex will be gone if you pick the power.
That's what I was going for. Yeah, no, I know that the pick of power was protected Pulse Wave, but again, a lot of people did play him because he just had high defenses and a +2 Perplex. So you perplex his defense up by 2. He gets hit. He just gets targeted by Pulse Wave. The Pulse Wave can miss.
Doesn't need to be targeted. If he's just in the area, he could be hiding behind a wall or something.
You're absolutely correct. Yeah, you're just nearby. The modifiers go away, and then all of a sudden you don't have to hit that 17 + 2. You get hit. You just have to hit the 17. Granted, the pick a power portion is a protected Pulse Wave, but it helps. That's just one of the examples that's easier for people to understand because Unimind has been prevalent for so long and probably will be again. So that's the reason why I was bringing it up, not because of the pick a power part.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, so let's take a look at Yeah, that's very insightful. Pulse Wave, not really heavily used right now, but I think it's a good power. People underestimate it. Let's take a look at Monica Rambeau. This is the second Monica Rambeau that we've seen, and she is 45 points. She's got like a golden sculpt. It looks like she's different looking from the original.
Her, yeah, all translucent ionic energy or whatever.
Yeah.
So she's set number 26. She's 45 points. She's got the shield team ability, 0 range with a single target. She's got the celebrity and sword keywords, 8 speed with phasing teleport, 10 attack with a special, 18 defense with energy shield deflection, 3 damage. Her attack power is stopping the bullets that pass through me, unique modifier. When an opposing character makes a range attack targeting one or more adjacent friendly characters, modify their attack -1. So she seems like a kind of like a defensive shell type of figure. She's got the
Like
shield
mobile
team.
hindering terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like mobile hindering terrain. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, Kenny, what do you think about her?
I like her. You give me her, you give me Kid Loki, and I got to go up against a Strange Supreme. I'm feeling a lot better about that because I'm pretty much essentially negating 2. You get the +1 from RCE, but I'm saying -2, so yeah, you're a net -1 and at 200 points for 11 attack. Not bad, but obviously, when you have access to 13, it feels bad to get down to 11. So she's good. I think she's a good figure. She also has 3 damage, so I know she doesn't have a reducer or evasion or reflexes, but if you really need to throw her out there and face someone, she's got 6 of health, and if she has an opportunity to hit you, she can hit you and deal decent damage there. So I say she's probably a high 2 play in sealed. She has combo ability. She has combo potential with Mobius and the whole phasing thing. I don't think that's why you want to play her though. So, and then in competitive play, I think for funsies, she's good. You'll probably see her. She's a good figure for that. For competitive play, she's probably a 0. I don't see it. Again, if the meta starts shifting and things slow down, maybe there's a world where she can be a fringe play. But as of right now, that's how I rate her.
Yeah, I agree with you in sealed and competitive. I don't think she's going to see playing competitive. But I think it is worth noting that there's a competitive team right now, that whole Demon in Armor, Captain Marvel, the Turtle. She's not going to find a home on that team, but she does make a good sort of budget version. If you don't want to sink all the money into the chases, you just want to have like a sort of fun Turtle team for local play, she's definitely worth looking at for that.
That's fair. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she's going to see competitive play for exactly what you said, Brian. I mean, she's a little bit costly in the competitive scene for what she does at 45 points. On that whole Demon and Armor team where they're really high defenses, but just like you said, for like a budget team or like a local play similar version of that team with high defenses, I think she does the job. So, but I do like the other Monica Rambeau that we saw better, I think. So
agreed. Yeah.
All right, let's take a
doing different things. I guess I would lean towards that one more than this. Sure.
So let's take a look at they definitely do different things. Let's take a look at Tyler Hayward. All right, 20 points. He's an uncommon. He's set number 27. He's 20 points. He's got the shield team ability. He's got 5 range with 2 targets. 8 speed with stealth, 10 attack with incapacitate, 17 defense with mastermind, 2 damage with a special. He's got the politician and sword keywords. He has his damage power is if only you had a little more vision. Leadership, when Tyler Hayward uses it and succeeds, this turn he has power, move an adjacent friendly character up to half its speed. If that character has the sword keyword, after resolutions, it may make a close attack. Definitely got
How
potential.
you mobilize your Darcy Lewis with the sword keyword.
Yeah.
You want to move her up 4 squares so that way she can hit you with her 9 attack. Clearly, this is meant for the more offensive sword characters, and there were some we saw. Even the last figure, Monica Rambeau, she does have decent attack value, so if you needed to mobilize her, Tyler Hayward could do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be other sword characters that, if you saw the episode, that would use this a little bit more efficiently. I don't think we've seen that character yet, so I'll leave it there.
I mean, we got the X of Swords event coming out. I don't know if any of you have read X of Swords, but Sword played a pretty big part in that. I think Cable was running it, or he stole the Sword satellite or something to that effect. So,
Swords.
Yeah.
Apparently Sword played a big part in X of Swords.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Wow.
So we haven't seen that set yet, but I would keep an eye on Tyler Hayward. He's one of those figures that might get sneaky good later, you know?
I think he's solid and sealed. I think it depends on what sword character. Like Mobius is a little bit more open with his phasing teleport. Here it specifically says sword. And we've seen some, but I don't think it's a lot compared to how many characters have phasing teleport.
Yeah.
So he's one of those characters in sealed where it depends on what you pull. If you pull, big sword guys or people that you can work around with, he's probably a 3. If you don't, cheap leadership, shield TA ability, he's probably a 1 or 2. Because leadership is a very competitive power in this set, as we saw with the comments. For competitive play, you're playing him for that ability. If you're playing him, you're building a team around it. So I don't care what his combat, it could be all zeros for all I care. It's really about the damage power. So it's probably, again, it's hard to rate it because he doesn't fit in on any current team. He's one of those characters that you're going to build a new team for because of what he's doing and the keyword that it's not new, but it's new for many people. It hasn't been seen in a while. So he's probably right now he's a 1, but with an insane ceiling depending on what else comes out with that keyword.
Yep.
Yeah, remains to be seen. Yeah. All right, so there's one more uncommon in this set. We're gonna take a look at it. So we're almost done with the episode. We'll take a look at this last uncommon. It is Baron Zemo with the mask on. So this is Baron Zemo with his purple mask on. He's 60. He's set number 28. He's 60 points with the Masters of Evil team ability. He's 6 range with 2 targets, 8 speed with stealth, 11 attack with precision strike, 17 defense with mastermind, 2 damage with a special. He's got the assassin, Masters of Evil, ruler, and soldier keywords. His damage power is I have the will to complete this mission, outwit, and perplex. When Baron Zemo uses either to target an opposing character after resolutions, roll a d6. 5. If he rolls a 5 or a 6, deal 1 penetrating damage to an opposing character that is adjacent to the targeted character. That's interesting. So,
yeah,
free damage is always good. Brian, what do you think?
He gets 2 shots at it.
Say it again.
He gets 2 shots at it because it's when he uses either outwit or perplex. So he can do it twice.
Interesting. Yeah, so he can outwit and then perplex, and then he gets 2 shots at the penetrating damage.
Yep, which is a very close to 50% chance. That's free damage is nice.
Yeah. So, big thing here, we've been seeing a lot of defend. We're seeing a lot of abilities that require adjacency to trigger. And Baron Zemo is the genius behind the scenes here who's like, I don't want to deal with that. I know how to get around it. You got 19 defend. I'm going to target little Billy over there who's sharing your 19 defend with outwit or perplex. I have a 33% chance now to get that Wanda off her 19 defend. And that's how you do it. That's where the genius of Baron Zemo comes into play here. So I think for sealed, again, we're talking about how great Darcy was with outwit perplex for 25. It's very difficult to turn around and say that Baron is not the same. Granted, he's a little bit more than double the cost, but he is doing a lot more as well. So I really do think that if you pull this guy, he is probably a 3-star play, a triple espresso shot. For constructed, he has a unique kit that I think only Chase Rocket has. So when you're talking about an uncommon or a chase, and we're talking about budget versions like Brian brought up previously, he's worth it. He's definitely worth considering. He's probably a 2 on that competitive fringe play if you need a character that can just do indirect damage.
Mm-hmm. And he could potentially do 2 damage, because now if he's using it twice and he hits both of them, he's dealing 2 damage.
Yeah.
He could also do 0. So let's be fair here. The odds aren't in his favor, but it can happen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that has been the uncommons. So we have reviewed the commons and the uncommons of Marvel Heroclix Disney Plus, the Marvel Heroclix Disney Plus set. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope everybody enjoyed listening or watching this episode. And thank you, Kenny and Brian, for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Stay tuned for our next episode, which is going to be on the rares, super rares, and chases.
Yep.
And
plus, we get to find out which of us is secretly Mephisto.
All right. Thanks, everybody. And don't forget, everybody at home, wake up and smell the Clix.